Hey, I'm Leah Pica, data storytelling advocate at leahpica.com, and I'm going to be speaking at Measure Summit about the top blind spots and bad habits that are stopping you from getting data presentation, glory, and recognition.
Hey there, Measure Geeks! Julian here, back with another video. Now, telling stories is something we've all grew up with, and we have been shaped by stories all our years. Think of your parents, your schooling, or your political views. Stories are everywhere, so why shouldn't we use them with our data? It's a fact that it's actually pretty hard to take data and get insights out of it and then change a person with that data, because not always you are making the decisions. But with storytelling of your data, you can make it happen. That's why today we have Leah Pica from leahpica.com on the channel to teach us about data storytelling, because she is a true expert in taking data and convincing and moving people forward with a compelling presentation of that data. Now, Leah is an in-demand speaker, a trainer, a podcaster who teaches specifically how you can tell stories with data and inspire action. Now, I talked to Leah for our upcoming event, Measure Summit, where she conducts a session about data storytelling and how you can craft your data presentation to inspire action. Today, we're going to hear a little part from her session where she specifically talks about how we can use charts in our presentation. But if you want to catch the whole session and want to hear from many other speakers at Measure Summit 2020, just head over to measuresummit.com and get your free ticket today. All right, we got lots to cover, so let's dive into the Measure Summit session with Leah Pica.
Speaking of using images in presentations, I have really good news. Your data is imagery. It's not quite the same as a picture of a person, but it is incredibly powerful tool. And just like, your presentation tool, you have to learn how to use it right. And that brings us to the third and final pillar, maximize their data absorption. This step in the process is about learning data viz best practices that help communicate insights quickly and effectively, and is not about looking pretty, snazzy, or exciting, even if you get that request. And the first step of that process, which we could go way deep on, but I want you to think about this now, is choosing the most appropriate visualization for your message. That doesn't mean choosing the first choice that comes up when your tool suggests it. It means having a really solid practical grasp of how every chart type is used, at least the most effective ones, and using them consistently to communicate your message. Now, you don't have to do this alone. This is part of what I teach in my courses, but if you really want to dive into all different kinds of chart types, there's a fantastic book by Stephanie Evergreen where she talks about the most effective chart types, but also how to select them based on your business question. So I just want to throw that resource to you, as well as the other areas and things that I offer. So once you've chosen that, one of the most important steps of the whole data communication process is about taking away rather than what you're adding in. So I'm a crunchy granola hippie, and I love to detox every day, get clean. And I love to do that with my data visuals. So detoxing does not mean taking your data and dropping it into a chart, which is actually, this is one of the presets in Excel, and it can look like this, and then just walking away. No, you have intentional design decisions to make to get that looking like something that will help your audience understand you right away. So I can't go step by step through this process, but you're going to see a before and after of what a truly detox chart looks like. And you'll probably be amazed at how clean and simple this feels compared to what you just saw. So just to go over, it's eliminating 3D, it's removing the background, the borders, the grid lines, the axes, all that's what I call chart fluff. Refining your chart choice and your size, directly labeling data to prevent extra legends. And notice that I made this chart look kind of sad and boring right now with a uniform neutral color. I prefer gray. There's an intentional reason for that. It's not to make you sad or look less exciting. But now I'm going to use color as one of my most powerful data storytelling techniques to direct you to the data I want you to see, where we're going to take a bold standout color like this blue to strategically emphasize your story. Maybe your story is in display. Maybe it's an organic search. But I'm using color here to distinguish what I want to communicate that is the most important thing. And for me, that is what intentional data storytelling is about. Now, what we often do in terms of storytelling is we'll kind of slap the name of what the chart is on the title, right? We see that all the time. Boring. No one cares about what the chart is, and you've already put them to sleep. Not a lot of people know that that title area is the very first place people look when they hit a slide. So it's very important real estate. So we're going to change out the title of what this is. It's a statement. And we're going to turn that into an insight, an observation of what the chart actually means. Connect those dots for your audience. Now, this is called a McKinsey title, and it's guaranteed that however they look at your chart and interpret it, the message that you're trying to convey is going to come across crystal clear. Notice that I also matched the color of the words and the numbers in the title to my data point to reinforce that connective thread and send my message home to you. This is one of my most powerful tools in the toolbox. Now, also notice, this is one particular insight, but maybe there's more to the story. If I add a little ellipsis at the end, the 3 dots, now you're building anticipation. This is what we initially found when we did a first pass. We weren't too surprised, but what we found next really surprised us. Dun, dun, dun. We actually saw higher efficiency when we looked at email conversion rate. So now we're seeing that we have a bigger opportunity with email. You can see how this story comes alive when we break it up this way. And it doesn't have to be hard. This particular technique is called a side-by-side bar chart or table lens, and it allows you to put 2 different metrics in one screen using the same categories so you can build a story like that on your own.
All right, so there you have it. This was a sneak peek from the session with Leah Pica of leahpica.com. She goes on to give some more great tips and insights to ensure no one is falling asleep in your next data presentation. So if you're interested to see more, you can sign up at measuresummit.com and get your free ticket to this event. And we have many other great sessions from Krista Seiden to Simo Ahava to Mike Rhodes, Christina Grinko, and many others. So don't miss out, and I hope to see you at Measure Summit 2020. And as always, my name is Julian. Till next time.